Good evening, everybody. I'm sure that you are enjoying a wonderful Sheva Brachas evening. I would like to extend my best wishes for a hearty mazel tov to our Chosn and Kala, to the Machatonim, to my Machatonim, the Spalters, the Machatonim, the Farkashes, and the Machatonim, the Levitins. I don't think anybody is new to the amalgamation of these mishpachas. Especially, I would want to make a welcome to Rabbi Farkash and his Rebbetzin. We met in Israel originally. We became great friends, and Asya and I had the honor and the privilege of hosting the rabbi when he was in Australia. I just want to make a remark, inasmuch that on the day of the chasana in Shul, when I was davening, a good friend came up and said, "Mendel, after all, you're having a chasana, you won't be there. How do you take it? How can you accept it?" I said, "First of all, I accept everything that the Rebbeinu Shalom gives us. If we are unable to go to the chasana, what he has blessed us with is with modern technology." I said, with the technology today, I said, my dear daughter-in-law Shani and her son David, and locally, well, Shani was working locally here, and Asya and I sat through the whole proceedings of the chasana. We were there in our not small, in our big way, despite the fact that we weren't there, as we term the word, physically. We were there and we are there. And it's the same thing now as I'm speaking remotely to you, even before the Sheva Brachas takes place. I can assure you that Asya and I are going to be there for the Sheva Brachas. And we look forward to many, many simchas where, please God, in the future we will physically be able to attend the simchas of all our family. And of course, when you're speaking, you always forget somebody, and I've just forgotten my dear son and my daughter-in-law to include them in the mazel tov that I just said. Das soll sein mein größter Avera. I think my children will forgive me for the certain amount of excitement during a chasana. And so there you are. So I skipped a little bit there. One would expect a Zeta at what's often happens in Australia at any rate, to give directions to the Chos and Kala as to what sort of a life they should lead now. I don't subscribe to that. You can't take a young couple who are in their 20s or whatever it is and start educating them now how they should conduct themselves. Education starts when one is a child, and our Chos and Kala were fortunate enough to be educated in Chabad institutions, and in all humility they had good homes to emulate and to follow. And furthermore, our education is a history. If you look at the various centers of the last few weeks, you will see Avram Avinu showed us to be a Machnas Seder, to have an open home. Yitzchak showed us you've got to have discipline. If you've got to stand up for yourself, for Yiddishkeit, and fight for it, that's your job, Chos and Kala, to do that, especially from the background you come from and from the teachings of Yitzchak Avinu. And the same thing with Yaakov. You can, for want of a better expression, he was a man of the world. He brought up a family. He worked hard, and at the same time, he was the father of the Jewish nation. So, my dear young Chos and Kala, you've got the ingredients. You've got the ingredients going back into the Jewish history, and you've got the ingredients of your own families. They've all been builders of Yiddishkeit in the various countries they came from. With the destruction of Europe, what happened there, unfortunately, it was people like your grandparents and great-parents who came from Hungary, came from Russia, came from Europe, or where they came from, and re-established Yiddishkeit as we know it today all over the world. Chazak v'amatz, be strong, what's the word I'm looking for? Be strong, stand up for your rights, and stand up for being a Jew. You've got to get rid of sort of certain mentality that I've got, because I was brought up a little bit differently than you. I didn't have the education that you had. I've still got a bit of a Gaullist mentality, and you kids, the way you've been brought up, thank God, haven't got that mentality. So I say to you again, Chazak v'yamatz, and we look forward for Bob and I to be able to attend any simchas that you make and any other simchas that are going to take place of the family. So with those few words, I give over to my better half, to Bob Asya.